to balance out any loss of federal revenue from this tax cut, we eliminate corporate welfare and all the loopholes, and we eliminate bailouts. This is how we break the back of crony capitalism, because it feeds off corporate welfare, which is just socialism for the very rich. We can change all of that. The message then to job-creating corporations is, yeah, we'll unshackle you from the world's highest federal taxes, but you will stand or fall on your own, just like all the rest of us. See, when we empower the job creators, our economy will soar. Americans will get back to work. This plan is a first step in a long march towards fundamental restoration of a strong and free market economy, and it represents the kind of real reform that we need. And folks, it must come from you. It must come from the American people. Real hope is in you. It's not that hopey-changey stuff that we heard about back in 2008. We've all learned that. And real hope isn't in an individual. It's not in a politician, certainly. And that hopey-changey stuff that was put in an individual back when Barack Obama was a candidate, that hopey-changey stuff didn't create one job in August, did it? That's the first time that's happened in the United States since World War II. No jobs created. Remember, government can't create jobs either. I get frustrated when the media gets that all wrong too, talking about how government created this job or that. Government can't create a job. It's the private sector that creates the jobs. Real hope comes from you. Real hope comes from realizing that we, the people, can make the difference. And you don't need a title to make a difference. We can get this country back on the right track. We can do it by empowering the people and realizing that, man, God has richly blessed this most exceptional nation. And then we do something about that realization. Don't wait for the permanent political class to reform anything for you. They won't. They can't. They can't even take responsibility for their own actions. Our credit is downgraded, but it's not their fault. Our economy's in turmoil, but it's not his fault. It's the tsunami in Japan, or the Middle East uprising. It's Irene. It's those doggone ATM machines. Folks, the truth is, Barack Obama is adrift with no plan because his fundamental transformation, it's at odds with everything that made this country great. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't make sense. Unbelievably, our president declares that he believes in American exceptionalism, just as the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism. Well, the path he has us on will make us just as exceptional as Greece, all right, with the debt crisis and the stagnation and unemployment and uprisings and all. Friends, you are better than that. Our country is better than that. We've got to unite. We've got to stand together. We can confront the problem and we can achieve lasting reform. And I can tell you from hard-earned experience with bumps and bruises along the way that the road ahead is not easy. You will be demonized. They'll mock you. They'll make things up. They'll tell you to go to hell. But we'll bite our tongue, we'll keep it classy, and we won't respond, as tempting as it is, to anyone who just has such disdain for our free market economy and for individual initiative and responsibility. We won't say, no, you go to hell. No, we won't say that. We won't say that. You know what? We don't have to say that, because when we have time-tested truth and logic on our side, we win. And when we refuse to retreat because we know that our children's future is at stake, we we win. No, the road isn't easy, but it's nothing compared to the suffering and the sacrifice of those who came before us. A few weeks ago, it was after my visit to the Iowa State Fair, and we were on the bus tour. I took my daughter Piper and my niece McKinley with us to the World War I Liberty Memorial in Kansas City. And standing in the rain, reading inscriptions there on those memorials about the honor in one's dedication to God and country. I thought of all those young patriots who suffered and died so far from home, and revering our vets there with the next generation by my side. There was such clarity. There's clarity in our calling, patriotic constitutionalists. We have a duty not just to the living, but to those who came and died before us, and to the generations yet to be born. Our freedom was purchased by millions of men now long forgotten throughout history who charged the bayonets and they charged the cannons. They knew they were going to die, but it was worth it for them, sacrificing for future generations' freedom. They're the ones who prayed in the trenches and suffered in the POW camps. They gave their lives so that we could be here today. You and I are blessed to be born the heirs of freedom. As President John F. Kennedy said, we dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. We are the heirs of those who froze with Washington at Valley Forge and who held the line at Gettysburg, who freed the slaves to close a shameful chapter, and who carved a nation out of the wilderness. We're the sons and daughters of those who stormed the beaches of Normandy and raised the flag at Iwo Jima and made America the strongest, the most prosperous, the greatest nation on earth forever in mankind's history, the greatest, most exceptional nation. America, we will always endure. We will always come through. We will never give up. We shall endure because we live by that moral strength that we call grace. Because though we've often skirted a precipice, a providential hand has always guided us to a better future. So let us seek that hand once more. Or Ronald Reagan said, if we ever forget that we are one nation under God, we will be a nation gone under. Yes, he shed his grace on thee, America. We will not squander what we have been given. We will fight for freedom. We will fight for America. We are at the tipping point. United we must stand, and we shall nobly save, not meanly lose, this last best hope on earth.